Hello, 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 guys. So, I'm going live right now. I'm on TikTok and I'm on Instagram in case you guys see me looking down. Also, I'm reading my notes. I got my notes right here. And we're going to talk about the brain and gut connection today because a lot of people don't understand how deeply connected our brain and our gut health is. Like for example, when we eat, we overeat and we experience the itis. Guess what? We get sleepy. We get mental fog because what we're putting in our stomach is extremely heavy and it's literally crashing us out. So today we're going to talk about the brain and gut connection because a lot of people don't know about it. And a lot of people should because it can cause depression and anxiety depending on the type of foods and everything that you eat. All right. The connection between our guts and our emotions are very powerful. So the type of food you eat, whether it's heavy, whether it's light, whether it's fruit, whether it's vegetables, whether it's meat and cheese, those things carry, like, for example, cheese and dairy and stuff. Not only can it cause allergies, it can cause inflammation. It can cause inflammation in the gut. So now you're over here feeling bogged down and you're crashing out like you would if you were drinking coffee. So a lot of us don't know that, well, I'm sure a lot of us do. Milk, what they feed the cows, what they feed the chickens, and everything in the dairy industry, they literally pump all these animals with hormones. And now we got children walking around that look like fully grown women because they have all these hormones circulating in them. They're emotionally depressed. They are anxious. They are overly developing. Okay? So what is the gut and brain connection? The gut microbiome is responsible for everyday functions, including digestion and nutrient absorption. So think about it like that. If the food you're eating is processed and it has no nutrients, then what is your gut actually absorbing? Your gut is absorbing the chemicals that are in that processed food. And that can be detrimental to our gut health and our brain. It's literally interconnected. The same neurological transmitters or the neurological wiring inside our guts are directly connected to our brains. And a lot of us don't know that. All right. The gut and brain work in a bi-directional manner, meaning that the gut health can impact stress, anxiety, depression, and cognition. Remember, let's go back to the itis. So when we overly eat and we experience the itis, we experience drowsiness. Our senses dull. Why do you think they're feeding us or promoting us to overeat and be gluttonous? Because when you are overeating, your diet, your cognition, your senses, your ability to be aware, of your surroundings diminish. And that's when you're able to be controlled easily, actually. All right. So studies show that the gut is home to the enteric nervous system, or the ENS. You can look that up, which is separated from the central nervous system and is made up of two thin layers with more than 100 million nerve cells in them, more than the spinal cord. These cells line the gastrointestinal tract, controlling blood flow and secretion to help the GI digest food. Also helps us feel what's occurring inside the gut, since this second brain is behind the mechanics of food digestion. Our second brain, which is our gut, controls behavior on its own, even though it doesn't get involved in the thought process. It's believed this came about to make digestion more efficient in the body instead of having to direct digestion through the spinal cord and into the brain and back. We developed an on-site brain that could handle things closer to the source. This second brain is so complex, it talks to the brain in major ways. All right, we're about to get into it. The impact on depression. The gut microbiome appears to play a role in depression. The microflora has proved to benefit mental health by enhancing the microbiome content in our GI system, which is the gastrointestinal tract. Healthy gut microflora transmits brain signals through pathways that are involved in brain neuron formation and behavioral control. It was also proven that inflammation affects the brain and how someone thinks. So let's think about parasites, right? When we think about parasites, there are parasites that are able to control how you think and how you feel. They are literally little intergalactic invaders, little aliens, okay? They can go into your body and literally direct your thoughts. Like, if you ever heard anything about like cats, doctors tell pregnant women not to be around cats because it can literally cause birth defects in your child, and it can literally transform how you think. Why do you think people say the cat ladies go mad? Because these parasites that are in their litter and in their rectum can literally control your brain, amongst the other parasites in your stomach from eating pork, because pigs do not have secretion glands, so they do not sweat, they do not detox, they do not cleanse. So everything that they eat, which is everything, they'll eat each other, is literally festering in their body, and then we eat it. So pig is probably one of the most dirtiest animals you can consume. And if you consume it, you definitely have parasites. It's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Who swallow? Niggles, do they swallow? Who swallow? Pigs? I'm sure they do. But anyways, we're not going to get off topic. All right, so this explains why more than 20% of inflammatory bowel disease patients exhibit depressed behaviors. Adding probiotics in your diet can improve depression in patients with irritable bowel syndrome. An improvement of the gut can improve mental well-being. In a study, patients took the probiotic bifidobacterium longum, which is NCC 3001 daily. Patients with inflammatory diseases are prone to depression. The theory is that dysregulation of the pathways involved in the gut-brain axis is responsible for this phenomenon. Research indicates that inflammation leads to depression, and depression worsens cytokine responses. So it's just a really vicious cycle. What are cytokines? That's spelled Cytokines. They are a loose and broad category of small proteins important in cell signaling. Due to their size, they cannot cross the lipid bilayer of cells to enter the cytoplasm, and therefore typically exert their functions by interacting with specific cytokine receptors on the target cell surface. It has been shown to be involved in autocrine, paracrine, and endocrine signaling as immunomodulating agents. Any number of substances, cytokines are any number of substances such as interferon, interleukin, and growth factors, which are secreted by certain cells of the immune system and have an effect on other cells. All right, so gut and brain connection, impact on anxiety. Stress is intimately tied to our guts, thereby proving the gut-brain connection. Gut health influences anxiety and the body's responses to stress as parts of the brain-gut connection. Our bodies respond to stress with a fight or flight system related to the cortisol levels. Cortisol is the fight or flight chemical or stress hormone. It increases sugar, also called glucose, in the bloodstream, enhances brain's use of glucose, and increases availability of substances in the body that repair tissues. Cortisol also slows functions that would be non-essential or harmful in a fight or flight situation, which is ruled by the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. When something scary or worrying happens, we have a physical reaction, sweaty palms or quickened heartbeat. If you're constantly stressed, it can make your body stuck in fight or flight. The critical part is that our bodies are unable to distinguish between physical and mental stress. So you know how all the time people are saying everyone is in survival mode. Everyone is in fight or flight. It can be directly connected to your food. If your food is stressing your body out, because a lot of this processed food, our body does not recognize it. Our body does not recognize it as food, so it recognizes it as an invader, as a poison, as a toxin. And so our immune system gets to working, and now it's trying to basically kill this bacteria. But this bacteria has the ability to plaster itself on our gastrointestinal tract, and then it starts to create mucus and acids that start to corrode the lining of our stomach. And now, because all that is happening, it's causing immense stress in the body. And now the body is constantly in fight or flight. It's constantly fighting off this harmful bacteria, these parasites, these toxins, and we just keep overly consuming without allowing ourselves to actually fast and cleanse from what we ate before. That's why intermediate fasting is such a good idea, because the 2 times that our body is in detoxification is right when we wake up and while we're asleep, because we're not consuming anything for the first few hours. But if you are, when you're waking up, you're drinking coffee, which is feeding parasites and feeding harmful bacteria, or you're eating bacon and eggs and cheese and all that stuff, your body is in a constant state of inflammation. Okay? And like I said, the dairy products, the chicken, the cow, the pig, and all that stuff, they are constantly pumped with hormones, or sometimes they're feeding each other to each other. So it's just about how well do you want to feel in the morning. That's why when people always tell me they have a low energy or they have lack of energy in the morning, I tell them to fast. When you wake up in the morning, drink some key lime water. And then fast till 11 o'clock. Just have fruit juice. And when I say fruit juice, I don't mean no Capri Sun. I don't mean no V8. I don't mean any of that. I mean real fruit juice. Like, get you a seeded watermelon, get you some seeded grapes, get you some grapefruit, especially grapefruit. Because this morning I had a little pain in my shoulder, and grapefruit is so spectacular for pulling acids and inflammation out the body that I drank that grapefruit juice and the pain went away. I could feel it dissipating. So we got to understand how powerful fruit is. Fruit is so powerful. Start getting up in the morning and intaking fruit. Drink your fruit juices. Drink green juices. And you'll see your entire energy level transform. We can't just think coffee when we wake up in the morning. Coffee is a stimulant. And then guess what? You're going to crash at the end. What I do is I'll be at work all day, or I'll go through my whole day and have one meal. And that whole time I'm eating nothing but fruit. What I had from when I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the evening, all I had was grapefruit juice, water, and apples. And my energy was extremely high. Then I had my meal of the day. And as you can see, I still have high energy. So how do you want to feel? We have to take in consideration how our gut is linked to our brain. If you eat poorly, you're going to think poorly. If you are always eating something that causes inflammation in the body, then guess what? Your body is going to be in a constant state of stress. And then you won't be able to see past your conditions. Everything is spiritual. We have to understand this. Everything is spiritual. And the way that they got the water set up, the way that they got some of these foods set up, they're designed to calcify your pineal gland. And your pineal gland is what helps you think. It's what helps you visualize. It's what helps you manifest. That's why from the time they're babies to when they're teenagers, now they don't have, because they have ate so much of these detrimental foods, they don't have the ability to visualize or imagine anymore. This stuff really be dumbing us down, especially the sugar content and the sodium content. The sugar and the sodium in a lot of these foods, they are not natural forms of sugar or sodium. So guess what? Our body is trying to fight them off. We're having adverse reactions to all of this. All right, remember, it starts with you. It starts with you. All right. Thus, our body, so the critical part is that our bodies are unable to distinguish between physical and mental stress. Thus, our body responds the same way if a bear shows up in our home as it does when you realize you hate your job. It tries to combat the stress. This constant state of stress causes chronic inflammation. The body reacts to the stress as a type of infection and tries to overcome it. Inflammation is the root of many diseases. This exposure to prolonged stress can have serious consequences for your health, ranging from high blood pressure to autoimmune disorders. The types of bacteria found in the gut, good bacteria, there is good bacteria, play a role in how our immune system responses are regulated. All right, so there are good bacteria. There is, let me see, where is it? All right, so this is probably some of the best probiotics, prebiotic fibers that I've ever had. It's from Vital Planet, and it has so many good like combinations in there. It has like a fiber blend. It has a greens blend with spirulina, chlorella, kale, broccoli, spinach, and parsley. It has a prebiotic fruit and vegetable blend with pineapple, acai, alma, fruits, pumpkin seeds, apples, green banana, blackberry. It has a mushroom complex with turkey tail, lion's mane. So this is a fiber, but it also gives you prebiotics and probiotics. So this is one of my favorite brands. When I was working at a herbal store, Olive May, in New Jersey, before I moved out to Texas, we would go to their events, and they would just break down the structure of the fibers and the prebiotics and probiotics. They have such a powerful effect on the body. So make sure you, if you're looking for some, Vital Planet is the way to go. I gotta give me some more, because this is almost done. Like, I have a little bit in here, but I mixed it with, I think, a parasite powder that they make, or it's from a different company, but also mixed a lot of other stuff in here, like what is that called? I can't even remember what it's called. I mixed a lot of stuff in here. So it's good for cleaning out parasites. So it has black walnut. It also has like a pineapple and other fruit blends in it as well. So don't sleep. Go and get y'all. Go check out Vital Planet. They got the heat. Okay, they got the heat. All right, so let's talk about natural ways to improve our gut-brain connection. So a lot of y'all might think this is hard. But it's just about being vigilant and being aware, because awareness is key in everything that we do. Awareness is key. And if you don't have awareness that the type of foods you're eating and the habits you are displaying and the habits that you've had for 10 plus years are detrimental to your health, then you'll never know. Okay, because this is not taught in school. Even when I went to culinary school, they talked about nutrition, but they didn't talk about processed foods, probiotics, swearing off of gluten, eating healthy fats, and all that stuff. You know, it's like it's just like a cut and dry, a copy and paste type of thing when they talk about nutrition. That's why I'm always like, you're your first doctor. You know, I can get up here and I can explain things to you, but you're your first doctor. So you need to be able to know your body. When you know your body, you know what's going on, and then the doctor is just a second opinion from what you know that you need to do. Okay? Because they're not taught nutrition. They're taught pumping you with pills, cutting out your uterus because they don't know how to deal with fibroids or cysts and all that stuff, or endometriosis. That's what they're taught. The quick way. But a lot of us don't know, just by fasting for 10 to 30 days, you can heal your body from anything. It don't matter if it's herpes, HIV, autoimmune disorders. You just have to have the knowledge and be able to go and seek that knowledge for your certain conditions. What vape do you see? Because I know you don't see a vape, because I don't smoke. I don't smoke vape. I don't smoke weed. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke nothing. So whatever you think you see, it's probably my incense burning. Anyway, so number 1, you gotta avoid processed foods. Yeah, and that's in everything. All these processed foods, them Cheetos, the snacks, all that stuff is everywhere, and I understand it. And you know, it is a journey, but you always have to choose you at the end. How do you want to feel? If you know, if you eat something right now, it's going to make you feel like blah, then you might need to just let that go real quick. All right. So a whole foods-based diet leads to a gut with much different makeup than one that's been fed mainly refined and processed foods. So I feel like a lot of people, when we talk about whole foods based, a lot of people think plant-based. I'm very, like, I'm going to always tell you guys, like, if you want to continue to eat a certain way, I'm not going to stop you. But at the end of the day, whole foods is for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're plant-based. It don't matter if you eat meat or if you're eating fish. Because at the end of the day, when you start to eat more whole foods, meaning vegetables and fruits, you're making your own smoothies, you're making your own nut milks, you're doing all of this for yourself, then you'll slowly be able to, you know, hold on. Somebody just reported my live. Let's see. See, this is why people get on my nerves. But anyway, people can come up here twerking and doing all this extra stuff, but they can't talk about health. Anyway, so a whole foods based diet leads to a gut with much different makeup that has one that makeup than one that's been fed mainly refined and processed foods. Even worse, ultra-processed foods like white bread, chips, and snack cakes make up nearly 60% of the average American diet. The added sugar found in these foods, often disguised as different types of artificial sweeteners, are responsible for a variety of health conditions from obesity to type 2 diabetes to migraines. Eating probiotics. Number 2. Eating probiotic-rich foods like kefir and sauerkraut if you're still intaking dairy products, or for plant-based, pickled cucumbers, vegetables, bananas, custard apples, watermelon, grapefruit, almonds, radish, red bell pepper, cauliflower, and carrots. And you can also use probiotic formulas containing lactobacilli acidophilus, which is L. acidophilus, and bifidobacterium and Saccharomyces boulardii, aka good bacteria. It can help your gut and mood thrive. Probiotics are good bacteria that primarily line your gut and are responsible for nutrient absorption and supporting your immune system. Number 3, you got to swear off of gluten. Limiting gluten will have positive effects on the gut's microbiomes. The traditional method of soaking, sprouting, and souring grains in order to make them digestible and nutritious have been abandoned for a fast and convenient method of mass producing. So you're going to have to soak your beans and sprout your beans and sprout your nuts and your vegetables and stuff. So it helps your body digest, because our body doesn't actually digest beans and grains without it being sprouted. Like you have your wild rice, you got to sprout your wild rice. All of that helps with proper digestion. Even with meat and stuff, you can't sprout it or anything, but a lot of that stuff, especially when you cook meat all the way, like it's well done, it's hard for your body to digest it when you char it. All right. Number 4, eat healthy fats. Eating healthy fats are essential for brain development. Olive oil, for instance, includes a high amount of antioxidants that protect your cells from damage. It also helps improve memory and cognitive function and works as an anti-inflammatory. Avocado's benefits range from protecting your heart to helping with digestion, but it is also a great pick for improving your mood. Consume mushrooms. Shiitake mushrooms contain plenty of vitamin B6 because vitamin B6 impacts the production of serotonin and neurotransmitters. Healthy B6 levels are associated with a positive mood and reducing stress naturally. It also has been shown to effectively treat mood disorders like depression and anxiety. Eat more nuts, but you need to sprout those nuts. Make sure you soak them, otherwise your body's not digesting them properly. Nuts like almonds, cashews, walnuts, and Brazil nuts contain a lot of serotonin, a feel-good chemical that in short supplies our body with the necessary minerals and vitamins and compounds when we are feeling depressed. All right. Sesame seeds. Sesame seeds benefits stem from tyrosine, an amino acid that boosts the brain's dopamine levels. It kicks the feel-good hormone into high gear while balancing out the others. Our bodies and minds are much more connected than you believe. Taking care of one part will reap benefits for the rest of you. Final thoughts. The microbes in the gut play a significant role in human body function. They are responsible for everyday functions, including digestion and the nutrient absorption and gut health. And it has a significant impact on mental health. This is known as the gut-brain connection. Research shows there's a connection between gut microbiota and mental health disorders, like depression and chronic anxiety and stress. The key is to improve gut health, which will reduce systematic inflammation and improve mental health thanks to the gut-brain connection. So remember, it's all about what you put in your body. If you are putting things in your body that causes inflammation and triggers that fight or flight response in your body, it is going to affect your mood and your emotions. Like eating, like on a spiritual level and stuff, the things you eat hold energy. So if you're eating things that are processed, you are literally going to feel it spiritually. You're not going to be able to think straight. You're not going to be able to visualize. Your body is going to be so just crashed out that you can't even see past your conditions. That's another survival mechanism. You only can see, or you're worrying and anxious about the future, or you're depressed from the past, and you can't see past that because your you're literally flooded with all these hormones, all these chemicals, all these toxins, all these foreign substances that your body cannot process. So I would say anyone that is looking to better their digestive health, I would suggest you can fast, and you can also do a colon cleanse. So colon cleanses are really good for cleaning out the acid, the mucus, the toxins, the bacteria, and all the waste that you have not moved out of your body. So for example, let's say today you ate 3 meals, you had 1 bowel movement. That's 2 meals that are going to be backed up in your colon. And then you do it again tomorrow and you only have 1 bowel movement. So at the end of the week, you have all of this stuff that never passed through your body. What do you think it's doing to your body? It's attacking your body. It's pulling you down mentally. So it's time to clear that out. And when you clear your body out, you clear it out energetically as well, then you're able to see more for your life. You're able to be more for your life, and you're able to do more because you see all the possibilities. All right, remember, everything is spiritual first. All right, guys, I'm about to go handle whoever whoever reported my TikTok, so I'll be right back.